Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought, a upcoming game that's currently sort of in early access, being made by the folks at Game Labs. The game has a Steam page, but it's not available there yet. If you do want it, you have to pick it up from the Game Labs website. And in the most recent major update for the game, they added a campaign. So this is a game that's really about designing warships in the Dreadnought era starting in the 1890s. All the way up toward World War II. And again, it's about building ships and then fighting those ships in 3D combat. But it is aspiring to be kind of like Rule the Waves, where the core of the game, the campaign of the game, will allow you to be a secretary of a navy where you design ships, where you manage budgets, you manage tech research, you build those ships, and then when war occurs, you have to see how you match up against your other opponents, and a war occurs, and then you win or lose, and then you go back to, you know, your regularly scheduled peacetime programming after that. And so the core patch that came out a couple of weeks ago introduced the first version of the campaign, which is just a war between Germany and Great Britain in 1890. So it's still very bare bones, but that's what we've been playing. And we have played a couple of episodes into our British campaign. Now, we had been doing a German campaign, but one of the recent patches forced us to restart. So we're doing a British campaign. We have had some recent success against some German heavy cruisers, sinking a couple of them with torpedoes from our light cruisers, and we are now winning the war pretty convincingly. We have 2,800 victory points to just shy of 900 German victory points. It is September of 1890. We haven't had a lot of naval combat to this point. The AI has been fairly passive. Or maybe not the AI, but like the battle generator, we've had like a couple of stints of 2 months in a row without battles. So we've been able to make it into September of 1890 without a huge number of battles. We're about to have a convoy battle occur where we are going to be attacking a German convoy. There's 7 German merchants, 2 German light cruisers against a heavy cruiser of ours and a light cruiser of ours. The Endymion and the Mercy versus the Danzig and Niobe. So let's go ahead and jump in and see how this goes. It looks like the Danzig and the Niobe are light cruisers that have already fought because they got an R next to their name, which means they're repaired. And then the 7 transports. Smoke is spotted to the east. Our formation is actually 2 battle lines. Let's just convert these into 1. We'll have the CL close up on the Endymion. We'll form up ahead and in tight formation. The light cruiser's a little bit faster than the CA, so I imagine they'll be able to catch up. Meanwhile, formation will turn right to engage. Imagine all the flags going up the masts. Remember, our heavy cruiser will have a firepower advantage. The enemy light cruisers, I think, have 6-inch guns, maybe. Or maybe 5, but our heavy cruisers or our armored cruisers have 8-inchers, secondaries of 4 and 3, while our light cruisers, or really they should be CP's, protected cruisers in this era, have a huge armament of 4-inchers, so a broadside of 4-inchers against the enemy's 6-inchers, but the rapid firing and the good armor belt on our CLs may give us an advantage, plus we have a good number of torpedoes. Then again, so do the enemy CLs, which taught us a bit of a lesson where we lost our own cruisers to a CL battle. Our one defeat was against enemy light cruisers where they torpedoed our own light cruiser. Mr. Sheep 234, thank you very much for the follow. And so, yeah, it's good to know. I think I mentioned this before the stream, but got started, or before the episode got started. But we did find a new opponent for our War in the Pacific campaign. Apparently, he's very good. It is, who is it? Lodrick. And so he has the turn right now for War in the Pacific, and we're just waiting to get it back. So from what I hear, he's a very aggressive and talented player. He's told me that Japan is in very rough shape. Their economy is in really bad shape, and their pilot training is not in great shape either. So we'll see if he can pull it out, but he basically told me, like, you know, it's a mess. And so it's going to take him probably a little while to get things sorted, but that might be the handicap we need against a really skilled player, because I have been playing it for a while, but I still very much am pretty new to the game in terms of opponents played and hours played and things like that. Well, have a good one, flying. To Lodrick, I don't know. I don't think he has anything on YouTube. I don't know. Someone in the chat can say. Obviously, I can't look on YouTube to see if he's posting stuff. I know he was making a couple of videos to show some folks stuff, but I don't know if that was public or if it was just like a couple of, you know, people he plays with. I don't know. We're moving at ×5. We still have no visual on the enemy. But it seems like there must be kind of saddling around here. They've got to be close because we're at ×5 speed rather than 10. Well-known Razors, thanks for the follow. Yes, Jack Tank. He is taking over for Lieutenant Rainbow Slash, who resigned a couple of months ago. Whoa, shit, we're like right on top of him. I don't have any visual on anything else, but this is the one thing I don't get is like the detection range on some of these things is fucked up. Like we're at 1.3 kilometers and we just saw like, oh my god, they're right on top of us. One nice thing about these CLs is with their big 4-inch armament, these guys will be great merchant killers. Like if we get into a campaign where we can actually send ships out and tell them to raid or do other things like that, they're going to be really good commerce raiders. A ship like that, obviously we're not going to have the same ships because we'll presumably have new saves and new campaigns and things like that, but okay. All right, another transport back here. We're under fire from the enemy. Enemy light cruisers are lobbing in 6-inch shells, and I can't see them. They're shooting at me, but apparently I have no visibility into where they're at. They're over here. I can see where they're coming from. All right, this guy's got to be almost dead, right? This CL... Here, set torpedoes to off. I don't want anybody firing their goddamn torpedoes. Mercy's going to detach just for the sake of simplifying or giving me a little bit more flexibility in my command. I'm going to tell him to fire at the second transport in line. I'm getting shot at, but no hits so far. So they might be at far enough range out where it doesn't really matter yet. I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and turn in. We lost sight of the enemy. There's a cruiser over this way and one over this way, so... You think most of the mistakes were XTRGs? Yeah, I think Rainbow made a couple, but generally speaking, you know, XTRG was playing Japan for the first time ever. So that takes a little bit of getting used to in the first place. Just how the game works. Especially when you consider that, like, unlike XTRG, I didn't have to manage the economy. And I think that's one major thing is, without spoiling too much, the report I heard from Lodrick is that maybe the Japanese economy had been set up to run too hot and there could be some major supply issues. But we'll see. I don't want to spoil too much. I haven't even seen the turn back yet, so. Hey, Newhauser. Yeah, I will say, though, that Lodrick did say, Newhauser, that he might run out of supply. So if a great, you know, if an expert Japanese player is saying that, that means the economy is probably a pretty big mess. But we'll see. Still no sign of the enemy ships. Like, how are we getting enemy shells all over just at mystery locations? Or are towers not high enough? I don't know. If the weather was bad, then I could understand that. But the game doesn't do a good enough job of showing you how bad the weather is. Like, it looks like you've got pretty good visibility, so... So, I mean, I know I'm getting shot at from over here, but I'd like to finish off these transports if I can. I don't want to waste torpedoes on them, though. Right, slow down a bit. It's like this transport's in amongst these guys and somehow we didn't see it. So the objective for this battle is to sink all the enemy transports. There are 7 of them. All right, this guy's gonna die, right? Yeah, he's about to. All right, he's sinking. We're changing fire. We've already damaged this guy pretty heavily. I'm going to focus on Thungarian as well. Whoa, I did not say to stop. Why would you stop? Some kind of collision avoidance, maybe? There should be a point, I would imagine, like if you're just wallowing in the sea, that your accuracy would actually go down without any forward movement, I would think. This guy's gonna die fast. This CL is so good when you get into close range, as long as the enemy merchants don't have guns. These 4-inch shells do a good deal of damage here. I don't want to go 19 knots. I just want to go a moderately paced. All right. So like the enemy convoy was somehow super close to us. Still getting shot at. Over this direction. Nice. Nice HE 8-inch shell hit there on the front, I think. Okay. So we sank another enemy merchant. What is that? 4 of them? 3 or 4 of them? Doesn't really tell me. I could look back through the reports. Only goes back so far. Okay. This merchant is getting pulverized as well. The steer. And then I guess since we're not picking up any other enemy merchants around here, we may turn back toward the cruisers here and try and engage them. But I'm focusing on the transports, not because I have to. Like the warships is where all the victory points are. But I'm assuming I might break the British economy if we give them too many transport losses. All right, he's a goner. Good gunnery practice, though. 733, 6 hits. Woo-wee! Practice your marksmanship, boys. All right, enemy smoke spotted to the east. Now, I did make a run to try and engage the enemy, but we just were not able to close the distance. The enemy ships are faster than ours, so even though we were able to sight their enemy smoke, we were never able to close the distance. So we're going to jump ahead to the end of the battle here, since nothing else happens. So it says it's a draw and doesn't award us any victory points, despite the fact that we sank 4 enemy transports. 3 transports got away, the CLs got away. But hey, you know what? It's still tonnage to the bottom of the ocean. Okay, so that battle ends a draw, but the enemy loses some more economic value. Looks like the next mission... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The map and mapping of the convoys. We're going into England, lads. 2 German... What? 2 German... Oh, wait, we have battleships. So why are the Germans sending 2 cruisers into frickin', like, toward Barry? Is it... What? Oh, man. Anyway, so we're going to have 2 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, and a light cruiser. The enemy's going to have 2 CLs. I'm going to guess they're going to run away right away. So that's going to be something we got to figure out how to keep them in the fight. All right, so we got through that turn. We are into October. Our finances are in pretty good shape. 4 million a turn. We are at 41 million in the naval budget. We are at 108% of our economy, which is giving us or our transports, which is giving us 9 no annual economic growth. I'm guessing the economy isn't fully modeled then yet, because the idea is when your transport capacity is over 100%, you're supposed to get an economic boost. Like GDP bonuses up here. I don't know how high it has to get. Maybe it's like 110%. Not sure. We're working on 12,000 ton docks. We're 23% of the way there. We've expanded from 10.5 to 11,000. 41 million in the bank. We did just research better armor. And also, it wasn't shells. It was something. Was it boilers? I think it was boilers. So we could do a new ship. I kind of am tempted to do a new battleship. Doesn't seem like we're going to meet the enemy battleships at any time, but... no, Neuhauser. Like, the book was titled, like, the East Asia Squadron or something like that. This was, like, 20 years ago. I was in high school almost 20 years ago. Oh, my God. I'm old. Let's see here. Do we wait 3 more months to get better shells? Torpedo size shouldn't matter for a battleship, but shells might. Well, welcome here, Cappy. We can all feel old together. Hey, and Aris, the beautiful thing of feeling old is it doesn't matter how old you are. Everybody can feel old together. I think we'll wait for the shells. I think that'll matter for a battleship. So let's just fight this thing. The tricky thing with this kind of game is, like, you can always wait for something better. There's always something better coming. Don't build it until you have triple expansion. I don't know when that's going to be, P-Flash, if ever. The war might be over by then. Southwest. Okay. We have a battle line of 2 ships, which is our 2 battleships here. We are screened or set to follow. We have a scouting group as well. Southwest. Set to flank. Let's get that times 10. Times 10 means they're probably way out there. This is a huge convoy by the looks of it. 12 merchant ships. You know what'd be nice is if you didn't know what you were going up against in a battle. Like, one of the problems I think of this kind of game is perfect knowledge, right? Until we spot the enemy, how do we know what ships they have? All right, also to the west. So Hawkeye take a right here. Agincourt's gonna veer off a little bit as well. Let's take a look at our battleships. First time we've seen them in action. You can see those. Oh, shit. Nope, don't do that. You can see those nice rounded 12-inch turrets. Single funnel is a little bit of a joke. They're going west, so if that's where the enemy smoke is spotted, I have a feeling we're never going to find the enemy. What's the weather look like? Morning, cloudy, light breeze, and calm. So we should have decent spotting range. But they're probably going to get away. There's Sia. Oh! Enemy shells! They're shooting at us. Alright, you guys cut over this way. Slow things down. Oh yeah! The big rumble of the big guns. This is the point where the enemy CL's like, oh shit, those are 12-inch guns. What did we get ourselves into? They're probably immediately turning. Now, they could win a big victory if they put fish into a battleship here. All right, we've got the Hawk and the Endymion on their flank. That'll make it harder for them to get away. Our battleships are out here. We're at 3 kilometers. Not gonna hit shit at this range. Go ahead and, can I detach? I can't? Whoa, we got a hit already? Good job, boys. Why can't the Talbot detach? Do we have too many task forces already? Wonder if there's a limit. Open fire with the big guns, lads. We almost have a 3% chance of a hit at this range. I do think it's kind of funny how you can see the shells, like they all have tracers and you get the smoke behind the shell. It's like something out of Battlestar Galactica as opposed to real life. We'll keep trying to close. 2.6 kilometers now. 2.5. CA's on this flank. How far out are they? 3. We'll angle in a bit more. So our light cruiser in the rear here is... Like, could you set this to a different thing? Do they have orders other than follow? Screen. I don't know. I wonder if screen would be better. Is he turning in? Not really. He's got a fire and he's flooding and he's not really moving. Interesting. Main tower overpen, 1 damage. Tower's still fine. Moving at 17.5 knots. It says max speed 17. We've got good hit percentages. Let's focus on the rear enemy ship with our CAs. Come in behind. Let the battleships deal with the lead enemy ship, hopefully staying out of torpedo range. I was like, this feels like it's moving really slow. It's because it is, because I'm at 1-to-1 time. There we go. Penetration fire flooding. Then we got a partial pen. Penetration engine 1 damaged and flooding. They're almost in torpedo range. Come on, 5 inches. Do we have a turret on these things? We do have. We have a rear turret there. 2 rear turrets of 5 inches for secondaries, and then we've also got the casemates. And she's really burning. Just inside torpedo range. She's turning directly toward us. Let's turn away. A nice hit there, but I want to try and avoid enemy fish, which I'm assuming are gonna about to come out. She's charging for us, so you got to assume she's got those bow torpedo tubes ready to go. Got a 27% chance for the rear ship to hit. The lead ship's at 34, despite the fact that we're in the midst of a sharp turn. Niobe is taking a beating, though. Flooding and burning. Penetration and fire. How are these SEALs doing? They're targeting the rear enemy ship, the Danzig. They're doing a pretty good job on the Danzig, too. You can see the Danzig is the rear enemy ship, and it's got 44% float. They've got a good 7% chance of a hit. Oh, wait, Africa's firing at the Danzig? Not the Niobe? Enemy fish do appear to be in the water over here, I think. Oh, maybe not. Hey, Africa, how about you detach? You need to turn too, because I don't know. I saw something about a torpedo tube destroyed. Niobe is at 20% float. There we go, Fisher out. We've already issued the order to turn. We'll also use the reverse engines to try and decelerate. I think they're going to hit. We just can't turn sharp enough. So we are going to take a fish to the midship of our battleship. We'll see how she holds up. A little bit ahead of the front turret, actually. I like that clink boom. I'm curious how she... Well, the battle's over, so I guess it doesn't matter. We don't even get a chance to sink. So even though we took a torpedo hit, the damage never got a chance, I don't think, to fully register. They got 32 victory points for putting a torpedo in the battleship. The enemy lost both heavy cruisers, and so a nice, comfortable victory here. Not a merchant ship scratched. I think the Africa probably suffered more damage than that, but again, it didn't have time to register. This game is still in early access, Juno. It is a it's made by Game Labs. There's a Steam page, but it's not on Steam yet. You can check it out on Game Labs' website, though. Okay, light damage to the Africa and Agincourt. The Danzig and the Niobe are sunk. 2 enemy light cruisers down, so they're down to 15. Comfortable lead here expands 3,500 to 922, and that'll move forward to November. We unlock the next technology in torpedo size, so increases torpedo weight, cost, detonation chance, launcher rotation speed, but we also, or slows launcher rotation speed, but we also get longer torpedo range and speed, less or greater torpedo detection range, greater torpedo damage, and a greater torpedo reload time. I don't see any battles about to occur on this particular turn, so it looks like things are chill. Our unrest is 0 because we win every battle we fight, and our naval prestige is 11, so we're actually liked. They like me. They like me. They really like me. Our annual revenues, or our budget, is at 4.1. All right, so torpedo size is unlocked. Let's stop researching that. We could go ahead and put it into triple expansion engines, which are this question mark of 62%, but I don't know how quick that'll occur. Or I can take that off and let some of this stuff occur quicker. So like rangefinders is 22 months. If I don't do this, if I do it, it's 28 months. Let's just see if we can unlock triple expansion engines. Maybe we'll get like a breakthrough or something. I think that can happen. 2 months till we get shells. So I think that's when we'll build our next ship. Yeah, Anaris, I know they said they were trying to do it by the end of the year, but they also said the initial campaign would come out like a year and a half ago. So I'm enjoying my time with this. I like multiple games at Game Lab. Not all of them, but I like some of the games that Game Labs has done, but I also don't necessarily trust their word when it comes to development timing. Okay, so we have a large battle coming up here. Let's close this first. There's actually a couple of battles. Oh, I can't close this. So that's going to do it for this video, folks. You can see there's a very large battle coming. It's a mandatory battle. I'm not allowed to avoid it. They're attacking a key strategic supply convoy for us. I don't know, like, if they were to sink it, if that's more impactful than just losing regular merchants. Maybe in the final version of the game, there will be some element of certain supplies are more important to helping the land war. If there is a land war, I don't know. The game is kind of vague on some of these things at this point because it's still so early in its development of the campaign. But with that being said, that's going to do it for this episode. A couple of nice little victories. A battleship of ours did take a torpedo. You know, it's interesting when you fight with CAs and CLs. Makes sense for CLs especially. You can definitely dodge torpedoes pretty effectively if you spot it early enough. And if you use the emergency controls, kind of where you manually put the rudder all the way over. But when you're using battleships, you saw in that last fight, that's very difficult to avoid. And we're going to see more of that in future battles where we have battleships engaged. With that being said, we're going to take a look at this huge battle coming up in our next video. It's a bit of a longer fight. You know, we could have done it in this video, but I didn't want it to be an hour plus. So we'll take a look at that battle in the next video. This was taken from a Twitch live stream of mine. If you enjoy those, please go ahead and click on the link in the description and check our stuff out over there. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching. And as always, I'm out.